Good evening. The state television company Western Armenia represents the most important events of these days. Today's broadcast, President Armenak Abrahamyan has visited RAA Armenia. Message of Guillermo Karamanyan, Consul of Western Armenia in Argentina. Azerbaijan erases the Armenian trace in Ghazanchetsots church in Shushi. Tolerance and impunity are the reasons for Azerbaijan's reckless behavior, Artsakh Ombudsman. Resumption of Nagorno-Karabakh negotiations, priority task of OSCE MG Co-Chairs, French ambassador to Armenia. The president of Cyprus considered the option proposed by Turkey impossible. Roman prisons were discovered as a result of illegal excavations in Urfa, Western Armenia. Casa di Cristallo presents the restoration of Dadivank Frescoes. A meeting between the President of the Republic of Western Armenia, Armenak Abrahamyan, and the representatives of Research on Armenian Architecture Foundation took place on May 3, 2021 in RAA office. The meeting was planned in advance and was aimed at presenting the lawsuit filed by the President of the Republic of Western Armenia, Armenak Abrahamyan, in the European Court in 2005 to 2008 against Azerbaijan, where Azerbaijan is accused of destroying more than 1,000 khachkars in Urfa. The RAA staff asked the President to submit motions on the newly revealed facts on the issue of separate monuments. President Abrahamyan agreed to take on that task and to submit new applications to the European Court on behalf of the Republic of Western Armenia. The Treaty of Severs, Cilicia, the Treaty of Lausanne, and other issues were discussed during the meeting. The Armenians of the world, whose birthplaces are Argentina and Uruguay, form the most of the audience of this environment and hear this message. The Republic of Western Armenia remembers the genocide committed by three successive Turkish governments in 1894 to 1923 against our indigenous and millennial Armenian nation. These three genocidal governments are the governments of Ottoman Empire, Young Turks regime, and Mustafa Kemal Atatürk. We, all Armenians, know this tragedy because it was passed on to us by our parents or grandparents without a mediator. They experienced it personally. There is no need for a school to know this horror. Our elders cried and told us what their fathers, mothers, brothers, sisters, uncles, aunts, and grandparents lived through. We ourselves were not the direct victims of this genocide in the spirit of history. 100 years is a life for us, but is only seconds for the history of mankind. The full message is available on our website. On Western Armenia TV, Rafi Kortosyan, Deputy Director of the Foundation for the Research on Armenian Architecture, spoke on Artsakh's endangered heritage. He also referred to the construction of the Saint Ghazanchetsots church in Shushi, in which Azerbaijan aims to eliminate the Armenian trace. He spoke about the informative and propaganda mechanisms implemented in Azerbaijan, which constantly spread misinformation, particularly in those circles which play a decisive role in resolving important issues. Azerbaijan cannot restore the cultural value of a nation against which it has been spreading systematic hatred at the state level for years, Guillermo, human rights defender of Artsakh, wrote on his Facebook page. Under the guise of so-called restoration, the Azerbaijanis distort one of the most important Armenian cultural values, the Ghazanchetsots Holy Savior Cathedral in Shushi. In many cases, we have seen how Azerbaijan treats Armenian cultural values. It is already clear what is really being done under the name of renovation work. The goal is to destroy the Armenian presence and trace. For years, Azerbaijan has pursued a state policy of Albanianizing the Armenian Christian culture in Artsakh or attributing it to other nations, which has been repeatedly criticized by historians and culturologists for a simple reason. These attempts are baseless, both in terms of historical chronology and cultural architectural features. If Azerbaijan really cares about the preservation of cultural values, repairs it, then a question arises: why it has not allowed an independent UNESCO expert group to visit the region? We raise the issue of vandalism against Armenian culture by Azerbaijan on a daily basis, informing the relevant international organizations about what is happening. However, the issue does not go beyond criticism or calls, while clear steps are needed. Forgiveness and impunity are the main reasons for Azerbaijan's reckless behavior. The presidents of France and Russia have agreed to resume the efforts within the OSCE Minsk group for achieving the stable settlement of the situation around Artsakh. Concrete initiatives will launch in this direction in the nearest future. French ambassador to Armenia, Jonathan Lecoq, said in response to the inquiry of Armen press. The President of the Republic held a phone talk on Monday, April 26, with Russian President Vladimir Putin. For the current situation in the Caucasus, President Macron highlighted the necessity of recording concrete progress on matters relating to captives, humanitarian situation, and heritage preservation. The two presidents agreed to resume the efforts within the Minsk group for achieving the stable settlement of the situation. Concrete initiatives will launch in this direction in the nearest future, the ambassador said. Mr. Lecoq noted that the resumption of negotiations for the peaceful settlement of the conflict is the priority task of the co-chairs. Asked what steps the OSCE Minsk Group co-chairs take so that Azerbaijan will return the Armenian prisoners of war, the French ambassador stated that the co-chairs in their recent statement called for the return of all prisoners of war. In their April 13 statement, the co-chairs called for the release of all prisoners of war and detained persons in accordance with the international humanitarian law. On April 24, Minister of State Jean-Baptiste Lemoyne received the families of captives in the French embassy, the ambassador said. Jonathan Lecoq also commented on the opening of the so-called Trophy Park in Baku, which reportedly displays Armenian military equipment taken as a trophy during the war and shows dehumanizing scenes, including wax mannequins depicting dead and dying Armenian soldiers, recalling his statement according to which war is not a subject for staging, and now the priority must be to finding a solution to the conflict. The president of Cyprus, Nicola Anastasiadis, referred to the Cyprus talks held last week at Geneva with the guarantee of the United Nations, Great Britain, Turkey, and Greece. According to Anastasiadis, the talks ended in failure due to the solution offered by Turkey and the Turkish part of Cyprus, according to which they want to resolve the issue by creating two separate states on the island. According to the president of Cyprus, this option is a clear violation of international law. It cannot be the slightest possibility of its application. Once again, we have witnessed the destructiveness of Turkey and the audacity of the dreamers of a new Ottoman Empire. At the informal summit in Geneva, Turkey and the Turkish Cypriot leaders lost another historic opportunity because of their rhetoric. Turkey's desire is not only a violation of international law, but also a challenge to the Greek Cypriots, he said. Illegal treasure hunting was revealed in Viranshahir, province of Urfa, western Armenia. Following the footsteps of treasure hunters, police discovered a prison with numerous Roman-era cells. Antique swords, silver crosses, and various objects were also found during the operation. The structure revealed as a result of the study consists of very small rooms and covers an area of 400 square meters. The report on the restoration of the Dadivank murals organized by the Casa di Cristallo Association, founded and headed by Antonia Arsalan, will be broadcast online on Zoom on May 12 at 20:30 Italian time. Antonia Arsalan is host, artist Abrahamyan, and the mural restorer Cristina Lamrox. Language is Italian. To register and participate, write to info@italyarmenia.it. Now we present you a folk song by Alexandra Harutyunyan.
Դրդոտ նավեր ձեր տան բոլոր մանդրը փուշեր Գեղի միջի արնան ուշեր Գեղի միջի արնան ուշեր
The full version is available on the official website of Western Armenia TV. This was all for today. Goodbye.